So some of the things that probably came up are emotions and behaviors in your stories. So we're going to look at some of those now, talk a little bit about them. Some of them may look familiar to you, but these are common emotions that are found when we're dealing with white fragility. Guilt. I'm sure you've heard the term white guilt, for example. Anger. It doesn't take a lot of explanation. We know what that means. Relational. So the idea of, I know what you must be feeling because I've gone through X, Y, and Z, right? So sort of playing the relational game with a person of color. Oh, I totally get that. Yeah. Anesthetization. Oh, I think I said it right. It's really not easy to say. Anesthetization. So the idea of anesthetization, I'm not going to do best. Okay. So I'm going to read a quote that I think really defines this well. So in the Civil War diaries of Mary Boykin Chestnut, a white Southern woman and a slave mistress, she writes, quote, "A mad woman taken from her husband and children, of course she was mad, or she would not have given her brief words in that public place. Her keepers were along. What she said was rational enough, pathetic, at times heartrending. It excited me so, I quietly took opium. It enabled me to retain every particle of mind or sense or brains I have, and so quiets my nerves that I can calmly reason and take rational views of things, otherwise maddening." So, most of us are not taking opium when we deal with these kinds of conflicts, but I do think we find ways to anesthetize ourselves against the pain we're seeing, against news stories, against a conflict we had at work. So I think it's really relevant. Dismissiveness. Because white people perceive their experience as the norm and don't have an experience of racial incidents typically, we can dismiss racial injustices as an overreaction or misunderstanding by people of color. In other words, it's all in their heads. It wasn't really what was going on, so it's just really in their heads. Disconnection, distancing from racial conflict, or assuming it's mostly okay. You might hear that in terms of, well, we aren't where we were 50 years ago. I mean, we're getting better. Everything's getting better. So it's a sort of disconnection of what might be actually happening out there. Social impotence. I know I certainly feel this quite often. We don't know what to do to help. We don't know how to help, right? You feel disempowered in that sense. Silence. Just not saying anything, not engaging. Appreciation or exaltation. I think this is really a powerful one. If we identify as an ally, there's a danger in reveling and feeling special for doing the work. But ultimately that takes away and puts attention back on the white person, right? So there's this sort of exaltation of like, oh, but I'm doing this good work, and I totally get, these issues, and my best friends are, friends of color, and all of a sudden, it starts becoming about you again, and your own ego, and not about the issues. Fear. And I think that's a big one. So now it's a little bit of private time. I'd like you to spend a few minutes free writing about one of the above emotions or behaviors.